Hello there, and welcome once again to a Guild Wars 2 Online PvP match commentary. We are following a Elementalist in this game, and we're on the brand new PvP map, the Legacy of the Foefire, using a Scepter Dagger build for this Elementalist, and it's a high burst spec build. It basically works by using some form of crowd control ability to immobilize your target, and then following up with a series of fire skills to deal massive damage to a single target, and can also deal some pretty solid AoE damage to people around it. So this is the central point of the map we're viewing now. Going to be a big fight here, like there should be for every game on this map. This central point is so important to hold, and whoever basically wins this early fight has the biggest advantage in this game. It's one of the most important factors in this match, is to hold the central point for as long as possible and get the first capture on it. So you see the Guardian already going down from the red team there, just dropping a Dragon's Tooth there to make sure we securely finish them off. Before switching around and dealing damage to the other players. We've got a Mesmer here we're trying to focus on. They seem to have a lot of illusions up there. It's quite hard to tell which player is the real Mesmer. No one's called out a target on the real one. They're bringing down the illusions there with some AoE. That seems to be the main player there. Switching over to this warrior. That warrior there was using a kill shot, as you just saw. Dealing quite a bit of damage towards that warrior now. Switching over to our air achievement. But the red team do seem to have won this fight, and they have brought us down now as well as the rest of our team. There we are, finished off. Very well played there from the Reds. They have made an early capture on that. It does seem the blue team are sending some players still back in once again though. And the blue team have managed to capture a point as well. There was a Guardian coming in just there, so it's a very solid move to make. The blue team do have a bit of a lead at the moment, but like I said, it's whoever controls the central point is going to have the biggest advantage in the early part of this game and throughout its entirety. Currently adjusting our graphic settings by the look of it. We're sort of having a problem in our studios when we were recording these videos, that we had the issue that that was Ride the Lightning, but you couldn't see the lightning. It sort of became an ongoing problem, some sort of intermittent issue. We think it might be with our graphics card, not quite sure. You can see there's supposed to be a misformed skill there, you couldn't actually see it, but then sometimes you can. It was really strange. So we're gaining here against two players, but this warrior is using a great sword there. That 100 blaze is so powerful against a squishy target like this Elementalist, and we have gone down. Very well played by their players, but we have now rallied, we are going down once again. Yeah, not much chance. That great sword is so powerful, and especially against a squishy player like this build that we're following for this Elementalist. This Elementalist build is very powerful, but you are very weak at the same time. You don't have much defense of any kind, and it seems the red team are attempting to make a push towards the blue team's base. The base is now under attack, as you can see. This means that those players have pushed up towards that gate. You can see them bashing on the gate there. They basically have to destroy that gate and then try to get inside. But we're using our elite skill here, which is the Tornado, to throw players around, moving them all over the map, just chucking them about to try and slow them down, cause some CC and distract them, trying to break up this push they're attempting to make. The Tornado skill is very powerful for the Elementalist at doing things like this and just getting those players to fall back. You can see that it's already worked. They've slowed down their assault. So these two players are going towards again, being hit there once again with a knockdown, and 100 blades again. So powerful, that great sword, absolutely destroying our HP. Yeah, the 100 blade skill is just so powerful, especially when it's combined with Bull's Charge, which was the charging skill used before to knock us down and provide the CC that skill needs. It's basically the Warrior's version of the Elementalist Dragon Tooth. It's a skill that requires CC but does a hell of a lot of damage when it lands. I'm not too sure about these skills. They are very powerful, but there are definitely going to be some balance issues with them in the future. I'm not unsure what they're going to do. So Dragon's Tooth there, followed up by a Phoenix, followed up by Flame Grab. That's the powerful Elementalist combination that you just saw happening there, dropping that warrior down to very low HP. Just trying to finish them off there, setting up with some burning effects to them. Just following up the auto shot there, switching over to Lightning Achievement. That would ride the lightning to jump in there and did a bit of damage, also combined with a updraft to knock them down and provide some CC, and they are defeated. There we are with the final blow, finishing them off. Score-wise, what we're looking at the moment is the blue team are lagging behind a little bit. It's not a massive difference at all on this map though. One of the most important things to bear in mind though now is the red team do have a gate broken down on the blue team side of the map. You can see that central point is still contested. That is why this game is still even. That point is so important. If it remains contested, you generally end up with a pretty close game. But if one team manages to securely own that central point, they do have a massive advantage. The reason for that is pretty simple. The other 2 points on either side are so close to it that it makes it a vital point to own, because you can move around between the three catch points really easily from it. And the other reason is it also gives you a good access to the enemy's base to get down there. It gives you so many options for where to move around and things like that. So we're engaging here against chasing down this warrior. Trying to drop Dragon's Tooth there, but the Dragon's Tooth is absolutely useless unless you provided the CC. Hitting them with a Phoenix there once again. Trying to follow a Flame Grab to finish them off. There they go, finished off. We're just going to try the final blow. There we are. Good timing as well before the Warrior could get his knockdown ability off. We've got a Ranger coming in here. This Ranger's using a Greatsword, which is very, very powerful for the Ranger, but their pet is currently down by the look of it. Or perhaps that is the blue team player's pet. I can't quite tell. The red team player does a stability up, but they have gone down. Well played there from the blues to flaunt that attack before it got too close. They've also managed to capture 2 points, and they have now taken the lead. They've got secure capture on that central point, which is going to give them an advantage for a little while throughout this match if they can hold onto it. It seems the red team have now captured the quarry. This will start them gaining some points back, but the blues, like I said, have got the central point, which is just so important on this map. Not much of a meta game has developed for Guild Wars 2 yet, but one of the things we nearly everyone noticed in this most recent weekend is that how important this central point is just to own and keep control of. It has now been neutralised by that red team player. Very well played there, but they have gone down very, very quickly, and the blues are going to manage to hopefully recapture it now. Nice little bit of aerobatics there from the Azura. The Azura is one of the new races we're allowed to play in the most recent weekend, and they're quite cool. I'm wondering how much they're going to be played in structured PvP because of the height difference. The hitboxes are no different, so there's no worries nothing to worry about there. But they are obviously a bit easier to hide and manoeuvre around corners and things like that. So I'm wondering whether it will be a bit OP to have everyone playing Azura, or whether that's going to be something that will develop. I have been thinking for a while that the esports scene, if it does develop for this game, which we all hope it does, been defeated there, sorry, let's just get back to the game for a moment. Yeah, but I have been thinking for a while, if the esports scene for this game does develop, players will be forced to play a set race, I think. I think it's pretty likely we're just going to see everyone being forced to play human, just for a simple matter of it's easy to tell what's going on for viewers, and it's easier to see what's going on for players. Whereas it is a little bit confusing to tell who is what profession when they're all different heights and sizes and things like that. It can get very, very confusing. So yeah, I think that is something we were likely to see if this game does become a successful esport, that we all hope it does become. So the blue team have managed to recapture the graveyard once again there, and they have managed to extend up to a 100-point lead, which is obviously very, very good for them. We're engaging here against this warrior with this great sword. Like I've said before, this warrior is very powerful. Hitting us there with our knockdown ability, balls charge. We'll have to fall back. We managed to survive the initial burst, but they have got stability up, so whether we're going to be able to do anything, no, we're not. Getting knocked down there, we did manage to immobilise them just as the stability went off, but it didn't manage to actually give us any range, and we have been defeated there. Nearly 9k there from 100 blaze. One combination of 100 blaze pretty much did this player's entire HP in one hit. Yeah, absolutely insanely powerful skill. We can see now that that warrior is heading towards our base. That means he's likely to be going for our guild lord. The guild lord is the mechanic for this map. It gives the team who killed the enemy team's guild lord 100 points. That is a massive, massive boost. As you can imagine, that's 20% of the entire game score. It's not the easiest thing to get. It is soloable by a number of different professions and things like that, but it's definitely not easy to solo. Healing back up there, engaging this 1v1 against this warrior. It's not going to be easy to win this at all. It's switching over to water treatment here. This provides us with a little bit more healing and things like that. Switching back to our fire treatment, trying to do some damage. Not quite sure what happened to that warrior. They seem to have vanished. That is certainly a very peculiar thing to happen. Maybe they disconnected or something like that. Not quite sure what happened there. We seem to be looking around for them. That's very strange. I've not seen that happen before. Yeah, interesting. So, back to the game now. Looks like our player is going to be thinking the same thing. And we're heading now towards the waterfall. Going to try to recapture this from the red team. The red team do seem to have made a bit of a comeback now. They've lowered the cap down to only 65 points. And it looks like we're now neutralising this point, and the central point's under contention by one team as well. I cannot wait for the spectator mode to be released for this game to be able to actually tell you who's contesting that central point. It's rather irritating not being able to see just from the screen. We've got the waterfall now, heading towards the graveyard. That is the central point, as I said about before. It says the Sanctum on the map, but it's called the graveyard on the voiceover. Not quite sure what the naming is going to be for it, so interesting thing there. So we're engaging this warrior now, dealing some damage there. That's our fire damage combination you just saw, hitting him, dropping him down to his HP very, very low. Just have Endure Pain up for a second though. Did manage to survive, finishing him off there with another Dragon's Tooth. Very, very powerful skill, that one I said about before. Switching over to this Ranger. This Ranger does have their elite skill up, providing them stability and more damage and things like that. They do seem to have vanished as well. That was a Mesmer skill being used there, I do believe. We did manage to finish off that Ranger in good time, and we are going to try and defeat them. looking for that final blow. There we are, that's then defeated. The red team have made a massive comeback though. They have got 3 points captured and the score is evening right up. It's going to come right down to the wire in this game. This central point has now been neutralised by the Blues, so it's well played by them. But the red team are still all over it. We're not going to give them an easy capture at all. There is that power. That was the fire grab skill. That's the number 5 skill. That just dealt, I think it was like 7.5k in that final blow there. Yeah, seriously powerful skill that when you've got a burning target to shoot at. So the scores now are pretty much dead even. The blue team have 2 points captured. They have got the central point captured, which, like I said before, is very important to hold. But at this late in the game, it's not going to provide them a massive amount of time to capitalise on that. The blue team are taking a very slight lead as time goes by. So we've got a couple people to engage against here. We've got 2 Mesmers by the look of that. Engaging here with the Warrior supporting us. That Warrior is using an axe spec, which is very powerful. So we should bring down that Mesmer a good time like we did. Switching over to a second Mesmer now. This is the human Mesmer we're chasing down now, applying some fire burning effects. Fire is a very powerful effect when it's applied. Burning, sorry. Switching over to our air attunement, lightning, jumping with some lightning skills, dealing damage there, forcing them away. Heading back towards the central point, and it has been neutralised now by the Reds. We've got that Ranger just in there at the moment. Switching back to our fire attunement, going to try and bind him in place there, dropping the Dragon's Tooth Phoenix. Fire grab isn't up yet, so we can't get that final blow off yet. It's just coming back up now. Fire grab, there we go, 5.7k, very powerful. There goes that Ranger down, just so we're joined by the rest of our team. Unfortunately, yeah, the fire grab was on cooldown for a little bit of time there. We did still manage to seal the massive damage it's capable of dealing. That is the central point of this build, and how it works is basically you do apply some sort of CC. That could be the number 1 utility skill we've got there, which is the Sign of Earth, which immobilises the target, or you can also use Updraft, which is the number 5 air skill with the dagger. You then switch over to your fire attunement, drop a Dragon's Tooth combined with the Phoenix, which both hit at about the same moment, and then follow it up with a flame grab. You're about to see the same combination being used once again here. Here comes the flame grab in there for 6k, and we're being joined now by a Warrior as well. It looks like the blue team have now taken the victory. Very close game. Very interesting to see how that all worked out. And it's interesting to commentate on Elementalist. A lot of action with the Elementalist. Really enjoyed this commentary. I hope you enjoyed it as well. So leave me some feedback in the comments below. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more videos. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on in the future, including live streaming and stuff like that. And if you'd like to see your own PvP videos commentated on, let me know, get in contact. So I'm willing to do commentaries for pretty much any profession, as long as the gameplay is reasonable. It doesn't need to be amazing or anything like that, you don't need to be some pro player. But yeah, as long as it's a reasonably good, interesting match, I would love to commentate on it. So if you've got a lot of videos up and would like to see them commentated on, get in contact with me. Thank you very much.